Hi, my name is Ali Gabista, and I am the lawyer for Angela Sampson in this case.
Hi, I'm Justine Walsh, and I represent Mr. Sampson.
Okay. So, there are a lot of things going on within this divorce.
Mm-hmm.
I know probably Angela wants certain things, and he wants other things, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few sections that we could break it up and talk about.
Okay.
What would you prefer to discuss first?
I think it's important that we discuss the children first.
Yeah, the children are a big thing.
Yeah.
Divorce.
Right. I think, Robert and Sally are a very important dynamic of this family. So, I know Robert is really concerned about if Angela is dating someone, if she is having relations. His biggest concern that he has expressed to me that if she is dating someone and this divorce does go through, he doesn't want someone else living in the home with the children. He doesn't care if, as far as the boyfriend could be there when the children aren't around.
Okay.
So, that would be the first stipulation that
Okay.
Robert has.
Well, Angela is sort of seeing someone, but they're not officially dating since Robert and Angela agreed that they weren't going to date anyone during the divorce.
Okay.
She does honestly want the divorce to hurry along as quick as it can because she does want to move on with her life and she does want to date.
And that's understandable.
Yes.
I know Robert has sentimental attachment to the divorce, to the relationship, but he understands now that
Yes.
there's no way of reconciling.
So she is kind of going to see someone, or she's just friends with someone right now, I guess.
Okay, just
but
dating when the kids are
casually.
around.
Yes.
Okay.
She doesn't bring him near the kids.
Okay.
He's not involved in anything with the kids or anything like that so far.
Okay.
Yeah, she basically just wants to hurry this divorce along.
Okay. Basically, my client's concern is visitation,
Okay.
which is understandable, because right now the kids are living in the family home with Angela,
Yes.
and they have a temporary agreement, but he would really like to lay something down in stone as far as, I'm not sure how your client wants to handle it. He's very busy during the week, obviously. He runs his own advertising business, and he understands that Angela's running her own business, but
Yes.
he feels most of her clientele is on the weekend where he has all his free time on the weekend. So
Okay.
if we can lay down some groundwork as far as the visitation going forward, that would
Okay.
be great.
Well, the weekends are very important to Angela, to be honest. She's very busy during the week, and she would like to see them during the week also, but it's difficult when she has work.
Mm-hmm.
So she really does want to see them on the weekends, and he could have a visitation schedule she would prefer on the
Okay.
weekends, but she does want them for the weekends, I know that.
Okay, would she be open to every other weekend, visitation
Well, I
or?
do know my client does want every weekend, and she would she would prefer that he would just have a visitation schedule for the weekend.
8 to 5?
Yeah, like a short little, not
Okay.
short, but
I understand,
Yeah.
maybe an overnight, Friday into Saturday or Saturday
Yes.
into Sunday, something along
Yes.
those lines.
something
Okay.
along those lines.
Okay, so she would agree to one overnight on the weekend?
She would agree to one overnight.
Okay, one overnight on the weekend. And do you know which day would she prefer over the other?
I would say maybe she really does want them for Saturday,
Okay,
because she does have downtime on Saturday.
okay, so Friday
So maybe
into,
Friday into Saturday, early Saturday morning.
okay, so we could say Friday at say 5 o'clock
Yeah.
till 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Then she would come
Okay.
get them, or he can drop them off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I think we can work out,
Yeah.
once we do this full agreement. The other very important thing to my client is, the weekdays are gonna be difficult for visitation, as you know. I don't know if Angela's told you, but he has a very busy work schedule as far as weekdays go.
Yeah.
I don't know if she wants the kids going to him on the weekdays at all.
I think she is busy also, but I think she wanted to split it up a little bit on the weekday.
Okay.
I mean,
Is
maybe
she
like
willing to be flexible?
she's willing to be a little flexible. Like
Okay.
she does want her kids.
Right.
She wants to spend time with them on the weekday, and like she wants to help them and with their homework and like
right?
be involved in their lives.
Mm,
But I think she's willing to do maybe like he can take them like wait, what's his work schedule?
well, it's kind of, it's
It
not
is very
set in
busy.
stone.
It's not?
It's not like he has a 9 to 5 job.
Okay.
It's based upon how busy the agency is, because he runs an advertisement agency.
Would he be able to take them to school or anything? Do you know?
I think if we could do, like, if we wanted to set up, like, if he was to do an overnight during the week, I would have to definitely check. And
Okay.
if, say if he does pick a weekday,
Yeah.
it would have to be where she could be flexible, say he has an unexpected meeting that he could bring the kids back to her home.
Okay.
If he wasn't able to get them to school, or the
Right.
fact, or say he ran past 5 o'clock, say he was gonna pick them up, and he wasn't able to be there, if he could pick them up at, at
Okay.
5, 6 o'clock. She just needs to be a little flexible with the time framing.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah, weekdays. So, that would be basically up to Angela, what weekdays she would like to pick.
Okay. I will have to check
Okay,
and I will have to let you know.
okay,
Get
that's
back to
fine.
you on that
Yeah,
because she wasn't set in stone with what exact weekday with her work schedule and stuff.
okay, and it would definitely be an overnight for that
Yes.
visitation? Okay. Because there is times that he's out of town,
Yes,
that,
understandable.
yeah, I know they're both very busy
Yeah.
people running their own business. The other thing would be holidays,
Oh,
and I
okay.
know this is gonna be difficult
Yeah.
to hammer out here.
Well, holidays are very important for her, to be honest, because her family is far away,
Mhm.
and if she was to travel to them, it would take days and days, and she would be gone for a very long time.
Right, my client's in the same boat, right?
So she doesn't want to be alone for her holidays. That's like her biggest concern. The most important holiday to her is Christmas Day.
Okay,
She does want her children on Christmas Day. That really does mean a lot to her, to be honest.
okay,
She's willing to split up like Christmas Eve and Day, but she prefers Christmas Day.
okay, so that means neither one of them would be able to travel.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
just so they
Yeah.
both know, and I'm really unsure, because I know my client usually goes and sees his parents, and they did that as a
Okay.
family. They used to
Yeah.
go and visit either or,
Mm-hmm.
so it would be definitely Christmas Eve for Robert. I'm sure he's willing to be flexible,
Okay.
as far as that goes, but I know as well as your client is he wants his children on the holidays.
Yeah.
And especially to be able to go and visit his parents because they are getting older.
Mm-hmm.
He would like to be able to take them out of state because like
Okay.
I said, the family lives up in Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
she would have to be understand, if he
Okay.
gave her enough notice saying, hey, we wanna go for Easter to visit my parents, is that okay if we go for 3 or
Yes.
4 days?
He would
And
just have
vice
to run
versa.
that back. Yeah.
I know that he's really willing to be flexible because he knows that both parents are living out of state.
Yeah. And I
he
do
ju-
understand that they both don't want to be alone on their holidays.
Absolutely.
So,
And cause, alright, so especially
Christmas.
because the kids are, school
Young.
age,
Yeah.
and plus with their holiday breaks,
mhm.
I hate to divide up holidays like
I
this.
know. It's very hard.
It's
It
not
is.
fair, cause I mean, even doing like a half a day Christmas, that
It's a
doesn't
hard
work.
situation.
Right,
Like the kids are going to have to adjust to the schedule.
absolutely. So, I guess the holidays, as far as that's concerned, we're gonna have to really sit down and talk to our clients and see, like, okay, we understand about Christmas, no one's gonna be able to travel
No,
unless,
if there's a certain circumstance or
right, or we
months
could say
by.
like a few days before Christmas Eve, Robert would be
Okay.
able to travel to Vermont, providing he has them back for Christmas morning.
okay, I will have to run that by, but that is
You know, I could
Yes.
see that being flexible for
that
the
is
both of them.
it sounds like a flexible plan.
Yeah,
It
and
does.
yeah, and I guess the other holidays would be like school vacations. I think both our clients should be able to split the rest of the holidays,
Uh-huh.
you know, because we have Easter, there's a break in
Yes.
there, and then there would be the Christmas break. So if they could split them evenly,
Okay.
say,
I would she didn't really express about any other holiday besides Christmas,
okay,
but I will have to sit down and talk with her about Easter
Okay.
and other holidays that
Okay.
are important.
mhm,
But I'm pretty sure she's willing to be flexible with like Easter and Easter break and their
right.
schedules and stuff.
And I'm not too sure because if the kids are involved in sports or any kind of after-school programs, or he really wants to stay intact with the children as far as that's
okay.
concerned. If Angela would just give him like a heads up, like say if there's a school play going on,
Yes.
that she informs him, or when report cards come out, that there's
Okay.
still a line of
There's still-
communication.
All right, that is
Yeah.
understandable.
Mhm.
That both of them do. I understand both of them do need to be in their lives since they're
Yeah.
still very young.
So I mean, I know that is very important. They're trying to be as, I guess, as responsible as they can be as
Mhm.
parents, but not be together. So it's very important for them to keep the line of communications open as far as the children go.
Yes.
Okay. I guess we really need to go back and speak to our clients.
Yes.
and
About
the vacations and about the holidays, if they would agree like a few days before Christmas Eve that Robert could take them to Vermont, and then Angela be able to go out of state
yeah.
if need be after Christmas. This way they could both still go
Still
visit.
plan and
Right.
do what they want to do.
So I guess we can't really come up with a solid
No.
visitation plan today, seeing that our clients are present.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I
Okay.
mean, I know it's very important to both
Mhm.
of them. So I guess we can move on to the next item.
All right. Do you want to discuss the division of their property?
Okay, the division of the property. I'm sure you're well aware of the laws here in the state. It's equity is split evenly.
Yes.
Anything that they came in prior to the marriage with, they get to keep. So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so just so we're on the same page,
All right.
so
Um.
has your client handed in a financial affidavit as far as, I know I got one from Robert, as far as, the value of the home and the vacation home?
Yes.
Okay, very good,
Yes.
okay.
All right. Well, I mean, Angela's the biggest concern out of all of the property and
Mhm.
everything is she really, really doesn't want to sell the house.
Okay,
But she does want to keep the house
she wants to keep the family home.
because her main concern is that the children are so young and they have a very good education where they are in the school district.
Okay,
And they're still young, like they have their friends, like she doesn't want to take them out of their environment since
Right.
they're so young.
okay,
So she really does want to keep the house. That's
Okay.
like the biggest thing.
I'm sure,
Yeah.
I'm sure. I know Robert expressed that, he doesn't like where he's living right now, cause he's
Okay.
only living in a 2-bedroom house, and, he really wanted to be able to either get some equity out of the house so he could buy a condo. Because I know as it stands now, she would have to buy him out of
Okay.
his portion of the home, unless we can work out something.
Well, I know she did want to keep the house,
Mhm.
but Another option she did agree to was she would move into a smaller house, but
Okay.
it has to be within the neighborhood.
Right, and
So
that's
the kids,
understandable,
wouldn't lose their friends and
Right.
education and everything, all their concerns.
Okay. Cause Robert did say that the house would be a little big now that
Mhm.
it's only the three of them.
Three of them.
Right, and there is still a mortgage on the home, as I see here.
Yes,
Um,
there is.
The other thing we could work out, so there is no division of property as far as the homes go. He's willing to have Angela not buy out his half
Okay.
if he can keep the West Virginia vacation home.
To be honest, Angela did want half of that vacation home money. I mean, I do understand that
Right.
she does want to keep her regular home in Leesburg,
Right,
but
she wanted them
she
to
did
sell.
she did want them to sell the vacation house. Since she just felt the vacation house wasn't really of her own. He just put all the time and effort
Right.
into it. He did all the furniture. It was mainly kind of his house, sort of.
Right.
But she really did want half of that money
Okay,
for
but
that.
as far as the family home,
Yes.
I mean, she would have to buy out his half.
Yeah, you are right.
And I just thought Robert expressed the fact that he wanted to keep the West Virginia home because he
Okay.
did put so much time into
Yes.
it. So maybe,
Mhm.
they could work something out.
I will have to talk to my client about that
Okay.
because, she really she wanted half
Half
that
of the
money
money,
for that vacation
okay.
home.
I'll just make note of that.
Yeah.
Half of the profits. Virginia home. Okay, and the other thing about if she does end up keeping the family home, she needs to understand that she's gonna be solely responsible for the upkeep, for all,
Okay.
if that's the situation, if the house doesn't sell,
Mhm.
his name would have to be taken off the mortgage because he wants to buy the condo.
Okay.
Or if they do decide to sit down and say, okay, we'll sell the house and
Mhm.
split the equity, then we'd have to come back and revisit the vacation home then,
Okay.
alright? So I mean, there's so much on the table today
Yes.
that I think it's good that we're finally sitting down and he's finally willing to get the divorce. That I really don't think we're gonna walk away with getting an agreement
I don't
today.
either, to be honest.
Um,
She is very difficult with her. She's not willing to,
be flexible
Bend
with
and-
certain
yeah.
areas.
she's really not
Okay,
with the property.
right, I can understand why she wants to stay in the home, but I do want her to be aware that Robert will not be financially responsible
Okay.
once the divorce is final and the deed, the mortgage has been taken out of his name and she's been able to refinance the home, whatever
Okay.
she needs to do to buy him out, or if we were able to work out the deal where he keeps the family home
Okay.
in place of her half, her
Okay.
paying him his half.
I mean, I am sure she is probably aware of that, but I will have to sit down and
Oh,
notify her
absolutely,
just to
absolutely.
make sure.
And then I guess, as far as other assets
Yeah.
go, Robert is only concerned about the household goods and furniture. He
Uh-huh.
wanted to keep two pieces, and I'd have to refer to my notes here
Okay.
because I'm not
I'm sure, yeah.
100% sure what it was here. Oh, okay. He wanted to keep the large 18th century armoire that's in the living room
Okay.
and the dining room set.
Well, she didn't care about the armoire or whatever,
Okay.
but the main thing she wanted in the house was the dining room
Was the
set.
time, of course.
Yes.
Okay.
It was very important to her. It was something they bought when they were first married or something.
Okay.
So she wanted to get the dining room set and maybe pass it along to one of her children when they
Okay.
were older.
Okay, I mean, he'd probably want that in
Yeah.
writing, that stipulation,
Yeah.
as long as the dining room set is being
Yeah.
kept for the kids. Dining room set to be kept by Angela, and then, so you said no problem with the other piece?
Yes, that was no problem.
Okay, the 18th century. One more. I don't know what the value is of any of these pieces.
I don't either. I'm
I
not
know they
aware.
gave us a total of
Total.
of 110.
Uh-huh.
So maybe we could just offset the dining
Yeah.
room and the armoire. Or we could say that has a $10,000 value.
We could, yes. It just,
And then maybe say, okay, that'll leave 100,000.
mhm.
I'm not sure what that consists of. Robert really didn't give
Yes.
me any other
Yeah, I didn't
pieces
have
that
any.
he said. He just said that they were a large number of antiques, and his wife has never been a big fan of them.
Mhm.
But I know it's part of their assets, and they would have to split it if,
Okay.
or
Yeah, I do
we
know what you're
can,
saying.
yeah, or we can work out some other kind of agreement, maybe if she keeps, say, I know there's some other things on here, like the savings in the money market account,
Okay.
she could just totally keep that for
Mhm.
him being able
For
to
him.
keep the rest of the antiques besides the dining room set.
Okay. I will have to run that by her.
Okay,
The only main concern she really had was the dining room set.
okay, all right. I'm just trying to think of
I know,
ways
yeah.
instead of, saying, we're gonna sell the rest of the $100,000 worth of furniture.
Yeah, I will have to run the savings in the money market account by her,
Right.
but, I'm sure that she really just wants that dining room set.
Right, okay. Well, we can,
Okay.
because that's liquid money
Yes.
really, because that's money that you could have right there and then instead of,
That is true.
yeah.
Yes. I will have to run that by her.
Okay, and I know there's like other lickable, excuse me, there's other assets that's liquidable as far
Yeah,
as cash
I'm sure
value
there is.
goes. I guess we could talk about that,
Mhm.
because I know he was really, really worried about two things about the division of property. That he's able to keep his business,
Okay.
and the alimony issue.
Well, her main concern was when her and him, like they were still married and he like ran his own business, was like starting it up.
Mm-hmm.
He borrowed $10,000 from her parents.
Oh, I was under the understanding it was a gift.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, she said that it could go either way. She said
Okay.
it could be a gift or like he does need to pay it back, but like she did want him to pay that $10,000 back.
Okay, because my understanding is it was a total of $50,000 for the business, and he did pay them $10,000 back like last year.
Okay, see, I don't have that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that's no
Okay.
problem. Well, this is
I don't
according
know.
to Robert.
Yeah.
So, and he says that there is an outstanding of $40,000,
Mhm.
and his understanding it was a gift to the both of them to start
Right.
up his business.
Right. Yeah, she did want that. She would also honestly prefer him to sell the business,
Okay.
and she would still like her $10,000.
Okay. All right. Well,
She wants to pay back her parents.
right, and that's understandable, but
Yeah.
there is no way my
That he's gonna
client's
sell
gonna
the
sell his
business.
business.
Okay.
He was so adamant about the fact that he wanted to keep that
Keep the
business.
business.
Because his thing was, he had worked for so many years when they
Okay.
both worked at the
Okay.
advertisement agency that he just wanted to be his own boss,
Right.
have his own clientele, and he feels comfortable now. The
Right.
business is actually profitable.
Mhm.
As you can see from the
Yes.
financial affidavit. So, I mean, I think it's just because he was just very adamant that he did not want to get rid of his business because again,
That is understandable.
that's his moneymaker. So I guess what we could talk about there is,
Yeah, she wanted him, if he was not going to sell his business,
Mhm.
she wanted him to pay alimony for at least 5 years.
okay,
And because her business is not as big as his, so she wanted to have time to build her business up
Mhm.
slowly within the 5 years.
Okay.
And she just wanted to spend time with the children as they still adjusted to the divorce.
okay, so 5 years. What is she
5 years.
what is she looking at as far as money
Money?
amount?
She did want like 15% of his salary.
15% of yearly salary.
so she could at least work part-time and have time for her children.
Okay. And is this based upon him selling the business or not selling the business?
Not selling the business.
Okay, for the 15,000.
For the 15,000.
I mean 15%, excuse me.
15%, I'm sorry, yeah.
So, because his thing was, like I said, he really wanted to keep the business, so that was important. He really doesn't want to pay her all that much alimony. He understands that it's important for her to be there for the kids.
Right.
But she also has a business that is making money, obviously not as much as his.
Yeah.
But he would be willing to give her, say, like 5% of his salary.
No.
I can go, because he actually said 5% for 2 years.
Okay.
I can probably stretch it to the 5 years.
She wanted, I mean, the least, like she was willing to go, she wanted at least 10% of his salary for the 5 years.
Okay, 10.
Because, I mean, his business is larger and he's bringing in more income than her.
Right.
And she still has to like support her children and
Absolutely.
pay bills for her house
Okay.
and keep it up to date.
Right. Now that's the other thing. Is she looking for child support? Or I think our state requires him, or we have to compare salaries. And
She is looking for child support.
I gotta try to, because I didn't have, I do believe, he needs to, or we have to compare their financial resources
Yeah.
for, and see if there's actually, it's kind of hard with her business because it's based upon clientele and he
True.
already has established business.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that there would have to be child support.
And the kids are under.
Right, on
18.
teens, so we'd have to figure that out based upon, they're gonna have to give us more completed financial affidavits.
Okay, yeah, you are right.
After, I
yes.
think after the division of the property's done, so we could see what assets is whose
Right.
and as far as the income coming in for the both of them, because it's just showing what the assets are valued at here.
Yeah.
And so we can discuss child support. I think there's state guidelines for the child support anyway, so once we have a completed financial affidavit on their full assets, we should be able to figure that out.
Right.
I know he's not gonna be happy with the fact that she's looking for 10% alimony. Only because if he's willing to let her keep the home and he's making, you know.
He is being flexible about it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as his business, that's his baby right now, you know, he's put so much hard work into it that he's just not willing to budge. I can tell you this much, about the gift that the parents, whether it's a gift or a loan.
It's either dicey.
He knows, because it was for his business, that he would be willing to make, because I know this is a lot to do with what they're fighting, and one of the reasons why they're getting a divorce is because of money. He's willing to make some sort of arrangement to get that money paid back. Now with that said, I know that's gonna be contingency based upon the percentage of alimony.
Right.
So if he was willing to make an agreement, say if he's willing to, now is he gonna be paying her back or is he going to be paying the parents back?
She did say that it could go to her, but I
Okay.
do understand that he wants to, like, he doesn't want her to spend the money or.
I mean,
But
he's fine as long as he knows that this is going to be payment
To the parents. Then, yes, he could pay to the parents.
Okay,
Just
alright.
for the reinforced.
Okay, and then I know that's gonna be all based upon if that agreement goes through, this alimony percentage has to go down.
Okay. Yeah, the least she was willing to go was 10.
10,
So I will have to sit down and talk to her about
okay,
that.
and I can give you his terms, he's
Yes.
willing to pay 50% over 50,000
Okay.
over 5 years. But that was one of his
Okay.
agreements, providing that, like I said, the percentage of alimony needs to come down a little bit. I
Right.
could probably get them to, I would say, if she's willing to do the 50,000 over the 5 years, I could probably get them to like 8%.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That is something that I am going to have to still, I say, discuss. But
Right.
that is, I mean, it does sound flexible.
Yeah, because
But-
then this way, because I know
Yeah.
there was a big discussion about, was it a gift, was it
Was
a
it
loan?
a loan? It's still dicey.
Right, and it's really bearing on his business, so
Mhm.
he knows,
Okay.
as long as it is going back to the parents
Right.
and she can agree to a lower alimony amount.
Okay. Yeah, I will have to talk to her, but
Okay,
it does sound like a decent plan.
okay, all right. And that would be for the 50 over 5 years. And we would work that out,
Yeah.
whether he pays it a 6-month or in a
Or-
yearly
yes.
installment, but that would be over the next 5 years.
Okay.
Okay. And I guess the other stuff we need to discuss would be the actual cash
Right.
on hand. I know their debts as far as like their car loans.
The car loan.
Because the state is an equal division, I say why don't he
He
pays his,
His, and she pays hers, and
Right.
then that's it.
Right.
Yes. I mean, I think she was willing to do that.
Okay,
I think she mentioned that she would rather just keep like hers under her name, like whatever, and then
right.
his under his name, and she'll just pay hers and he pays his.
Okay, so each make payment on their own car loans.
Yes. Which makes sense.
Yeah, and then I guess it would be, the way I understand it, and I'm hoping I'm understanding this correctly from him, that
Mhm.
when he took out the loan for his business, that it was
Mhm.
strictly in his name.
Right.
I just wanna go back on my notes
Right.
here.
I think it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just in his name.
I think
Because I don't want her to be
Yeah, yeah.
responsible for paying a
Right.
loan,
that yeah.
even though it was a loan taken out during their marriage.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure the loan.
Okay, then if it's under his name, then he has to
Okay,
be
assume
responsible for that.
responsibility for that,
Yes.
okay. So let me just put a note here. Okay. And then again, we would have to revisit the whole furniture
Yeah, we
assets.
will. What else?
Well, we have to talk about the retirement money.
Right.
Let me see here. Because I know like he's just trying to trying to get himself out of the 2-bedroom apartment, keep his business and have a solid
Right.
agreement as far as a parenting plan goes.
Going back to the house, I just have one question.
Sure.
Is the boyfriend allowed to, in the future, is he allowed to stay in the house, or is it just the kids and her? Should I?
Yeah,
Do
I
you know
know
about that?
he was really he's upset about the whole
Okay.
thing, obviously.
Yeah.
He was really, really, really concerned about another man stepping into his shoes. He
Right.
would prefer, and he knows he can't stipulate her life after the divorce, that the kids, she can spend time with her boyfriend in the house when the kids aren't there.
That makes sense.
I understand, if they're both gonna move on eventually. His only concern is that he's not gonna step into his role being the
Right.
father.
Okay. I will just express that to her.
So-
I'm sure, that will not happen.
If she can agree until the children adjust and once everybody's, his hurt feelings are over this, because she was the one who initiated the divorce.
Right.
I think once all the hurt feelings are gone, I think that'll ease off.
Okay.
He's just really concerned that right at this moment that the boyfriend or whoever she's seeing is not present or
Okay.
around the children when they're there.
I will reiterate that to her.
Okay, alright, very good. So I guess my main concern right now is that he's able to keep his business. Hopefully this agreement that we've talked about, you know, about him keeping the business, paying the 8% alimony with the agreement that he will pay back the 50,000, or actually it's 40,000 now, over the 5-year period. And then the fact of the home,
Right,
the main house.
the main house.
Right, because right now, as it stands, because if we go in and visit the retirement funds, he's gonna have to use some of that money to purchase a condo.
Okay,
So unless they decide to sell the house, then he won't have to do that.
yeah, no, she's not willing to sell the house.
Yeah, so I mean, because then she's gonna have to remortgage the property to buy out
Right,
him, and then we can split the retirement accounts. My only concern with that is if part of this money was prior to their marriage, which we would have to go back and get financial documents for that, then he gets to keep his portion and she gets to keep
her.
his, you know, in equal amounts.
Yes,
I know there was some withdrawals, I guess they're in agreement because this was to invest in his business. They both took out 50,000 out of each of their account to help him start his business. They have since, I guess I know Robert has started putting money into a new retirement account, but it was
Okay.
after their separation. And I believe Angela has also made a separate account.
she did,
Okay.
yes.
Alright, so we know that
Yeah, she
any
did.
monies there will be kept separate out of the divorce.
Okay,
So the only thing we need to visit is the home.
The home.
And I guess we can't do this without actually
Yes.
speaking to our clients. And I guess really nailing down visitation.
yes, yeah, visitation is a very important thing.
Yeah,
with this whole thing.
I know it's gonna be difficult, but we really need to put a solid parenting
Uh-huh.
plan together because I don't wanna have to come back and have to renegotiate a parenting plan. If we can
Right.
get them to both agree, okay, this is how we're gonna split the
Mhm.
holidays, or this is how we're gonna split school
Okay.
vacations. I guess the other thing we didn't discuss about that would be summertime. I wasn't
Okay.
sure how your client felt about
Um,
summer break.
She honestly didn't express her feelings about the summer,
Okay.
but
I mean, like, she would be okay if he were to take them, say, on vacation to
I'm sure
Virginia.
she would be okay with that.
Okay.
Yes.
As long as it's equal time
As long as
spent.
she just notifies him
Okay,
about it ahead
Okay.
of time,
right,
and at least like 2 weeks ahead of time
okay,
or something,
known as 2 weeks
then I'm sure she would be fine with it.
for out of state trips. Okay, that's fine. Alright,
Alright.
so I guess the other thing would be the retirement money.
Right.
I see that it's
It's.
off by what, 35,000.
Mhm.
So, well, Robert has,
Robert
yeah,
has-
more.
I mean, I'm not really sure how to go about this. I would
Did she
say-
express
She
anything?
did not express
Okay.
anything about the retirement.
I just would like to go over
Yeah,
all
no,
the
no.
marital property
I'm-
so
yeah.
we're not being
She
blindsided.
didn't even mention the retirement account.
Okay,
accounts really.
alright, so maybe we should just keep them the way they are?
Maybe we should just keep them.
Okay, so Robert keeps his and Angela.
And Angela keeps
Okay.
hers.
And then we could just say like one of the stipulations would be that I'm sure it's in both their names,
Yes.
that it be kept in just
kept in their names.
one name, okay?
Mhm.
So the removal of other spouse's name. Okay, so I guess what we do now is just basically go back to our clients to see if we can get them
To agree upon
upon the house. I mean, I think
holidays.
switching the homes and letting her keep
Right.
without have to paying him.
I'm sure my client will be happy that she is able to keep her house
Mm,
and have our kids live there with their education and their friends and stuff. But yeah, we will have to go over.
Go back over and then sit down and really nail out this parenting plan.
Yes.
Because like you said, I got the understanding from him that holidays were important. He really wants to be able to go visit his family, and I don't wanna make any set decisions
Me neither,
today
yeah, I'm not,
comfortable with that. So I guess
Okay.
we'll have to set up another date and time to meet.
Right.
I know she wants to get this done as quick as possible, so I
yeah,
guess,
she just wants to go through it and move on with her life.
and I guess I'll have you call me
Right.
then and we'll
Okay.
set up another time and date.
Perfect.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.